Video is recording and stream starts in... Who just followed us? I don't know who that is. 3, 2, 1, live.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 15 of the Point Gremlins podcast. My name is James, or Jonas the Red, and of course, as always, Delirium, or Alex as my co-host. I have a topic this week that had a long time coming for me, or for us. We've been pushing leagues for a while, and I think this is the final day we're going to unveil them on the show. I mean, we've known about it for a couple of days now, right? So here goes the story. So I'm not going to say what day it was, but we had a staff meeting recently, and our staff meeting, us two were given the go-ahead to start planning and working on moving leagues around faster. And basically just the whole weekend, all week and weekend for us, we just kind of blasted it out and put everything we could into it real quick. Now, not to say it's going to be absolutely perfect when Sunday comes, but it's going to be fun no matter what, because it's going to be a session that is going to be much different than we normally get, unless you've already played in the tournament before. You're going to have a different experience. You're going to get some awesome stuff from it. So generally, this show is going to be going over the who, what, where, when, and why, and anything else that comes to mind when it comes to the leagues for it. Ignore my phantomy background. It's a 720p camera, and it's looking better on stream than it does in my Sky and the Phantom Jumbo. So yeah, where do you want to start?
So I guess we can just start off with time and date. So we've scheduled things to be 9 p.m., so taking over the 9 p.m. private party on Sunday nights. We are hoping to have things either be bi-weekly or weekly. We're not really sure. It kind of depends on attendance and how people are looking to sign up. To be honest with you, dates can change at this point, so we're going to try Sunday. This is going to be the first week. If we figure out that more people want to do like Wednesday nights, or more people want to do a different time, we might kind of work things out to do that instead. But as of right now, things are going to be Sunday nights for leagues.
Yeah, the date sucks no matter what day we try.
Yeah.
I think Sunday is the best bet. I'm hearing a lot of people saying they can't make that day because they have school, because they're young, tiny children like Dummy and Tom, stay up late anyways. Some people said they can do much better during the summer, which, well, summer is coming. We can still have to do Sunday leagues. Nothing's going to stop us there. Yeah, but Sunday just seems like the best date. It sucks that it's at 9 p.m., but some people can make it, some people can't. Yeah,
so the hard part is the fact that it is at night, so we might be looking to... Hopefully, if we can do something like Wednesdays, it might be like 6 or 7. But as of right now, Sundays at 9 is just kind of voted on the best day we can do. Besides that, kind of going through the rules that we've laid out for leagues so far is I'm really pushing to have these be double elimination brackets. So essentially, what that means is I want to split everybody into a relatively small team size. So everybody that signs up will split into a team size based off of your skill rating, which I have on hand. So I'm going to balance the teams myself. The teams won't be picked by captains because of how small they are, and they won't be completely random, I guess. So
you said they wanted to go off a skill rating before, or are you going to balance yourself just on the spot there, or...
I'm going to balance it myself based off skill rating. I'm balancing out skill rating.
Okay. So my next question then would be some people want to make the league account so they can track their individual stats just from leagues. Some people want to use their main accounts just to make it easier for tracking skill rating. So what's the workaround for that? What do you think?
So the workaround for that is I have to dig through the system and figure out your skill rating by looking at the last session you played and how it ended there. So it just takes a little bit more effort on my end. The other thing with making your own league account is if you don't have you're not going to have the elite membership on that league account, so you're not going to get the discounted session, which means you have to send me a message over Discord, and I can get you taken care of for that then, or you can just come in and pay day of, so then I can get you the discount either way. But if you're going to be making a league account or something like that, that's the hoops that are going to have to be jumped through in order for that to be taken care of.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's a worthy jump. I think it'd be definitely cool. I think I'm going to try and do it, I don't know if I'm going to play in leagues or not. We'll get there when we get there. When it comes to that topic, I think league counts are a good idea, just so you can see your own skill.
You
on
should
it.
consider
So,
yourself already swiped in for leagues, James.
okay, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
cool. I had no problem with playing before. The thing is that if there was going to be an even number, we could both play. If it was an odd number, you're jumping in and you're going to make it even.
Yeah, so if we have an odd number of people for leagues, I'll be playing. If we have an even number of people, I won't be. I'll just be running it.
I can be the designated team leader or ice person, or just do whatever needs to be run to make it as smooth as possible. It does not matter to me. I just want it to be fun and work out well.
Yeah, not worried about that sort of thing. Back to the double elimination bracket. I really want to keep things competitive with these leagues, so I'm trying to steer away from the direction of doing just splitting people into two big teams and then just playing a competitive session because we're all regulars. I think things historically have gone rather poorly whenever we attempt something like that. So I really want to keep the competitive atmosphere, and I think a bracket style event will help things out a lot. And again, another reason to do bracket is because it should keep things time sensitive at least a little bit. So if we do something like round robin or Swiss or however we normally do it for like a tournaments obviously take forever, and even with less teams it would still take forever. So that's why the double elimination bracket should help to cut down on a lot of the time and hopefully get people out of there at a reasonable hour.
And I'm all for that. I mean, I foresee that this first league is going to have 10, 12 people in it total. Maybe even a little bit more if we're lucky. I don't need it to be a big number. I just want it to happen in the first place.
I think we're going to have a decent number. I think we have 7 signed up already. I have at least 3 more confirmed to be joining. You should be joining. That's over 10 right there. I think we're going to be hopefully getting somewhere around 15, 16 players.
Okay. And you were mentioned, so some people do know about this already, is going to be the team sizes. So if we're going to have a very little amount of people and you want to have a decent bracket, are you thinking 2v2s was the bit here? Or what do you want to jump into 3v3s, 4v4s, something like that?
So upon further consideration with that, I think the number we're going to be looking for is either 3v3s or 4v4s, because I would actually be really interested to try 2v2s, but the problem is we're going to have so many teams that the bracket is going to take forever. So it's
only exponential from there.
Yeah, I can't really do the 2v2s unless we have 8 people for a tournament or for bracket.
Yeah, why do you want to try 2v2s so much? I think it's really cool too. I'm just curious.
I think that can be done very well. I think we've really never done 2v2s in a highly competitive atmosphere. I think it's normally just messing around on the fields with a small session. Normally there's not 100% regulars. Objective we play games like TDM where things are just really slow, instead of we could focus on some more objective-based games like King of the Hill, where you're condensing all the players into one location on the field. So you're forcing these 2v2s to interact a lot more. So it would kind of eliminate the problem with less players on the field and make things pretty competitive.
It sounds like a really interesting thing where, what amount of space does a regular have to take up to be useful in a 2v2 setting? How much space is going to be actually super very needs to be watched, very important to control? Obviously, the main places would be still market and top of market would be very valuable in a 2v2, but how much more? And what other places could change? How much could it change even more? We already know the big difference between a small session, a big session. How much is it a micro-size session and a normal size session? Fun to look at. We'll try it someday, definitely. Yeah. Okay. So moving down the list, we're going to do we want to try and keep everything as equal as possible, but try and keep things just as stagnant as possible for this. Lights and sounds. How do you want to go ahead and do this? I was thinking we have just you can do some music, but generally always do the rave lights, or all lights dim, or just some stagnant, not a whole lot of explosive lights and changing sounds, or for the light show.
I think we should be looking to either just do soundtracks or do music. I don't think all lights dim is very, very dark. It's the way the tournaments are run, but I think it's too dark. So I would be more apt to doing rave lights and soundtracks. So I think that's what people should be expecting when we get into it, is doing the light shows for the most rounds.
The light show. Okay, so what about all lights on? I know that's going to make the shadows a lot more pop out, but I'd like to be able to see for some once down my life playing in the field. I think sometimes it gets too dark, especially playing sniper, and I can't see 20 feet in front of me, especially lower market. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Click fun button as well.
Fun button should be going the whole time. That's kind of be a staffing thing, really. At this point, we're really looking for staff-wise just to have a designated ice operator, and that's about it. Certain games will require team leaders, so certain days we might not run certain games because I'm not planning on having people on staff for these events, besides either me running ice or someone else that would be willing to stay to run ice. So there will always be an ice operator, but certain weeks there may not be a team leader, just based off of who's playing, hours, that kind of thing.
What's nice is that certain game modes you could just not really have anyone on staff, and
Right.
just the person that isn't playing at the moment just runs ice if there happens to be an employee in it, and then we know employees are going to play in this session. The majority of our employees are competitive players or want to be competitive players, and then they already know how to run ice, and they can do it for you easy peasy. Just an easy rotation out, especially
Right.
with the more teams we have.
And that's kind of the beauty of the fact that these are going to be smaller teams instead of just a 2-on-2, or not a 2-on-2, but two big teams, is that not everyone is playing at one time. So when I have a lot of staff that are playing in these events, they can take care of things like taking care of the armory, taking care of ice, taking care of team leading, that sort of thing in between rounds. So staffing can be easily worked around for these events. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, and normally for the tournament season, getting staff to work those tournaments is just damn near impossible.
Right.
It's you have to hire from outside. Remember, so last year or this last tournament, we had what was her name? Something Pancake or something.
Emo Pancake.
Emo Pancake, just helping out. Scumbag Lenny didn't actually play in the tournament. He was back in the armory helping out.
Yeah, he didn't play.
Leanne, Jeremy, and Gilly, given that the owners weren't going to play, but I imagine they wanted to, were on the field doing it anyways. It just, you wouldn't expect to see the normal staff, and you didn't see the normal staff for the tournament. It's cool.
Right. And I'd say expect that to be the case again for these.
Yeah. Do we have a set in stone game mode lists, or what game modes we're going to be avoiding for these?
It's going to come down to session size. So if I have 2v2s, I'm not going to play domination or whack-a-mole. If I have 4v4s, I might be more apt to do something like that. So it's going to be a lot of these things I have to work around. Do I have a team leader? Do I not have a team leader? What are my team sizes? So 2v2s, I'm not going to run team deathmatch. That's just going to be boring, not very competitive, not very fun. So we're going to be playing game modes that best fit the size of the session that we have.
And conveniently, smaller size sessions fit game modes better. The games shine more in smaller games. I'm sure you guys have all played in a large session where the game mode doesn't even really feel like a game mode anymore. Just turn to team deathmatch. We've all seen Platoon. As good as the game mode is, it doesn't ever get a chance to shine because no one's shooting the damn tube. In a tournament setting, in a setting that everyone needs to shoot the tube and can get it done and get it done easily, some games are going to really shine in that setting, and some games are just freaking not.
Yeah, so I have a list of all the games available. Expect games that are more tournament-like, so more competitive. I have a bigger list than the tournament, just because the tournament doesn't include things like domination, whack-a-mole. There's some simple ones. So there are going to be more available games, but it's going to be our more competitive games.
Okay. Some examples of some more competitive games then. You got our snipers.
Yeah, so I mean, kill games, it's sniper, TDM. It's easier to say what we're avoiding. We're avoiding things like, obviously, Terminator, Borg, Hive, Black Hawk Down's not on that list. SWAT's not on the list. Games that are a bigger novelty with like one side always winning versus the other side. There's no real back and forth, so very polarizing role sides, basically.
Yeah, you generally want them to be balanced, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mute that for 15 minutes. You guys talk a lot during the stream. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we could do events for any games, really. I could run Hive. I could run Borg. and just say whichever team has more life alive at the end wins, but I don't think that's very competitive. I don't think that's very fun. So we're going to be steering away from games that don't fit the atmosphere very well.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, if you guys have a different opinion on that and you want to give it a shot, maybe drop it in Discord or let one of us know. Like maybe we should try. Maybe we want to play Hive in the tournament for some reason, or in the leagues, and I think it'd be really fun. Tell us why. Tell us what you think. Maybe you could change your minds. I thought you can change Alex's, but I bet you can change mine. Maybe we can see if it could work out.
Yeah, a big thing about these leagues is the fact that they're going to be, at the moment, bi-weekly. So a lot can change from week to week. A lot can change based off the number of players we have. So I would expect these to be something that don't have much of a meta revolving around them, and more week by week basis, figure things out as you go, learn to adapt to the different changes we make during the league. So this week is going to be double elimination bracket. Next week might just be a full hour and a half session. I don't know yet. We're going to kind of figure out what people want and what works as we go along.
Yep. Okay. So the question that I'm sure some of us have, and I think you already have an answer for, but generally I think what's going to happen here is we're going to come down to a vote the day of. Player gear. Do we want people that have their own player gear to use their own guns? Do you want everyone to be on the same playing field? Are we okay with Tom using his own gun? I don't. Tom's not going to play, but first game that came to my mind.
At this point, I'm going to say that I'd expect player gear to be on the field. From what I've talked to people about, it's not that much of a big deal to people. More so people care about things like the scope changes, body changes, that kind of thing. But at the moment, I'd say expect it. The one thing I really want to avoid with that is I don't want anyone to feel like they're getting cheated out of a win because players have better gear than them. I want to keep everything as fair as possible for these events.
Yeah, that's about just generally the answer I'd give as well. And if you have your own, expect to see it. If maybe the day of everyone just changes their mind and they want to see something different. Here we go. It's easy peasy. Something like that. So who do we have in the league so far? So far, I managed to get Specs to sign up. Zombie signed up. That was cool. Assured Legend, or Kalen, came out of the woodwork and signed up. Mithran's in there. Sniper 17 and 6 and 7 Junior are in there. They're just not listed on the thing when you sign up, so they're playing as well. As it's from tentative players, I asked Speed Means, and he was interested. Mac20 said he was interested. Ashway says he was interested. We know that both of us are going to play if needed. And Cleanout. Cleanout's playing as well.
You want to be Cleanout's in. The Frog and Ice Bear said that they were going to probably play as well. And then
cool, Ice Bear?
Gamoto and Quicks are likely to play as well.
Oh, so we do get a Tom.
Yeah, we do get
it. Just depends.
He needs a ride.
Tom can't drive.
Someone drive Tom.
Yeah, someone help Tom along.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually, on the topic of players, we got some players I didn't expect at all. Mithran, Zombie, Assured Legend, super happy you guys could make it out for this. Not people I was really expecting to play in this, because you're not really the tournament players we haven't seen before. Assured Legend played the tournament, but Zombie, Mithran didn't play. Cleanout didn't exist for it. So it's really good to see a lot of those players showing up for these events. I'm really trying to keep things running smoothly. I really want to keep things running on time for these because I don't want to hold people there super late, especially because I know a lot of you guys work in the morning, school in the morning, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So what I'm expecting for this is I'd like to this thing. It's meant to be competitive, right? It's a competitive thing that we're trying to see and push the sport along. But I'm not trying to turn into a hyper toxic tournament setting where you're trying to win everything gold, gut, and teeth type of thing, rip and tear your way through it. It's meant to be fun, but it is meant to be competitive. It is meant to show off the sport. It's meant to develop the game. Let's see if we can't do it. Hopefully we can. I don't know.
And we have 8 people in now. There's a frog. A frog is playing.
Yo, a frog is in? Sick.
Yep.
So I think we talked about it before, but why are we doing leagues in the first place?
I guess it's because the gap between tournaments is just too long. I think we are at this point looking to do one, possibly maybe sort of 2 tournaments a year. So there's a huge amount of dead time in between tournaments when people really can't show what their improvements have been, demonstrate what they can do in a competitive setting. So I think the goal is to try and get more players to show what they can do in these competitive arenas.
The difference I've seen, for some players have told me that the difference between a public session and a all regulars is drastically different. And I believe the heck out of them. Like, these sessions are going to be massively different. They're the best way to create the sport. Right now, I think the sport is just about how efficient can you kill the new players. Yeah, I mean, you get some extra value from being a regular that can kill other regulars, and you can kind of play their own sport in your head. But how good are you really if you're never actually, like, always contesting someone else? You could be going into the lower market. There's a good chance you're not going to see a regular in there. You could see just a bunch of new players and manage to weasel away, and they're going to go anyway through all of them and call yourself high and mighty. But in these sessions, they're always going to be much, much different than what you normally would expect. And this is the way I want the meta to develop. I don't want the meta to develop in the direction it currently is. I want to turn this is the way to turn this into a sport. This is the way to further this.
It's going to be really interesting too, because especially with the small sessions and based off skill rating averages. So let's say we do 3v3s for the upcoming tournament this week, which again completely depends on turnout size. I've got to run a lot of numbers. I want to avoid buys as much as possible, that sort of thing. You're going to run into players with, like Zach is playing. So Sniper 17 is playing. Well, you're going to have 30% of the opposing field be Sniper 17. That's a really tough thing to deal with. When the other side of the field might be all players with like an average skill rating of around 40 to 50. So you have 3 very well-balanced players on the other side of the field against 30% of the field being Zach.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a really interesting thing to see, is which of those teams is going to kind of rise to the top in these teams.
Is it going to be the balanced team, or is it going to just be Sniper 17 again? Because I'm guessing that Sniper 17 is going to be put on the same team as Cleanout. And then those two are going to be a power couple.
At the moment, I'd say so. If it's 2v2s, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's 2v2s, he's stuck with Cleanout.
So what the system's going to, what Alex is going to do is he's going to, like we said, just divide the teams based off of the skill rating. Look at the skill ratings, make them that way.
Yep.
So if you have a really high skill rating, you happen to know what your skill rating is, and it's a really high one, you're going to be put with a player that's generally lower, like me, or like, I don't know, Mithran. Mithran's good, but how good is he really? We're going to find out soon. How good is he against other regulars and what we're seeing? That's really the true value of a regular, is to see how well they play against other regulars and where they can outgun them and outthink them in different settings. I don't want us to do always team deathmatch, though. It has to be different game modes.
Right. And when you're playing on a field where you make up 33% of your team, you have the chance to make a huge impact on the way the game runs. So if you're playing very, very well, you could very well win a game for your team by yourself. I mean, teamwork, I think, is going to be very important. Discussing where everyone's going to be is going to be very important, because you need certain roles taken care of with only so few people. But like I said, you are 30% of the field. You can do a lot more as that percentage of the field than you would in a public session, where you are just one out of 32 players on the field. You can't do much in that case.
Yeah, your change is negligible given your numbers. You're just going to help win the team deathmatch, for example. But what pressure can you really create? Now, when it comes to teamwork, I'm not sure for this first time that teamwork's going to be really a part of it. Like, really, guys, how much do you think you're really using your big teamwork plays in your public sessions? You might use it for the first few minutes of a game, but I think that teamwork tends to fall apart unless you're working together and over and over again with UVL or something.
Like I was saying, for these with the smaller session sizes, you need to establish objectives that each player needs to take care of. So let's say we play King of the Hill. Well, even if we play King of the Hill and let's say it's out in the street, well, there's 2 important things that are taken care of for King of the Hill in the street. You need to control the mansion, and you need to control upper market. So it's pretty simple. Send one person each side. If one person is getting destroyed on their location, either switch sides, both focus on one side. There's a lot of different mid-game options that I think should be communicated between the teams that can be taken care of via teamwork.
And what sucks is you might get tossed in a team with something you don't like, something you don't mesh with. But what I think is going to happen is that teamwork isn't going to be there right away. I don't think laser tag players have that brain for it yet, unless they're playing a lot of shooters at home. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So another thing to talk about with leagues is I do want to establish some sort of reward for doing well in the leagues. So far I have 2 things worked out. One of them is I made a slide where we are going to appraise all the different players that show up for these. So a few things to work towards. If you're the winning team, you get your picture up on there, team name up on there on this big TV slide that I made. We're gonna put up the team rankings. So however many teams show up on there, if we only have 5 or 8 or whatever, they're all gonna be listed. Going down the list. And then I'm also going to be ranking the players based off of overall score for the entire event.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw this slide when it was in the lobby for a bit. It's and you get a team picture as well. I don't know if you mentioned that enough. Yep. I'll probably be taking that one when you guys win it, or I don't know what's going to happen there. I imagine it's 3-on-3 and it's going to look pretty good on the screen. I got a nice camera I can do it with, so it's going to be cool. Other rewards we were talking about doing, but can't be 100% with it. I mean, this is the first time we're doing leagues, doesn't have a whole lot of traction yet. Little patches or T-shirts, something like that. What's the realistic ability that's actually ever going to happen?
Those I think are very unlikely. The other option we had was a cash prize. As far as a cash prize is concerned, everybody would need to be on board with that's what we're going to do, because the way that would work is we would essentially just charge an extra $5 for entry fee. So it would be $25 instead of $20. Everybody puts $5 into a pot, and then we can distribute to first and second place.
Yeah. Yes. That's going to be the cool part of it. And if you guys manage to, I don't know, talk about leagues more at home and bring some of your other regular friends to come join us as well, you can make that pot bigger if we decide to do it that way. Probably won't be that way for the first week. This is going to be a lot of testing and figuring out what works and see what's good, what's bad.
The option will be there for the first week. It's a matter of if players want it or not.
Ooh.
Yeah, from what I've seen, players, I put in a very small vote, which got overshadowed very quickly just in the number of people that were talking in the Discord about people that asking if they wanted a prize pool or not. So far, everybody said no, but I'll ask again the day of.
Yeah. I'm personally for the vote of no. What do you think?
I'm down for it. I don't care about $5.
Yeah, I guess it is just $5, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that's going to be leagues. If there's anything in the chat you guys want to mention, bring up, and anything else you want to bring up real quick, that's really the main topic for it. We'll definitely jump back onto it from here. Anything else you want to jump onto?
No, that's really everything I've got about leagues. There's going to be feel free to ask a lot of questions about leagues in the league chat that we have in the Discord. I'll be looking at it for a while. James is going to be looking at it for a while. We're going to answer as many questions as we can because we want to get as many of you guys playing this as possible. Because if it does really well this first week, we can continue it, keep moving forward with these leagues. At this point, we're past the break-even point, so I'm already thrilled with that. But the more people we get, the more fun the event's going to be. And if we get a lot of people, we might be able to move it earlier in the day, which would be cool.
Imagine the priority, guys. Some of you guys might get to play that don't get to.
Yeah.
Play, mention you'll play. Cool. So yeah, shorter show this week, but we can definitely still push it a little bit longer to get some more info out there. Let's move on down to the 7 days. Maybe anything else comes up.
All right, 7-day leaderboard. So moving down the list at number 1, we have Killer the Criers. And then going down the list, it is Sniper 17, Gamoto, Quicks, The Owl, Commander Irwin, Ashaway, Mama 82, Stinger, Levi Ackerman, Glue Eater, Skull Taker, Chief, Mac 20, and Speed Means.
I love this list this week. I mean, the top 2 is just boring to look at now. I'm tired of seeing Killer the Criers, Cyber 17 on top now. It's been 6 weeks like that. Boring. But top, 3rd place, 23 kill streak, a KD of 2.27 in third place. What the heck? Tom?
Yeesh.
This dude...
2.27 died about 600 times again this week. You die 600 times a week, Tom. That's a lot.
He's like, shut up. No, well, he's playing a lot of sessions. I imagine his parents just throw them at us just so we can get rid of him.
Yeah, we are a very expensive daycare for Tom.
I'm playing Tom. He's cool. And so it's funny that Tom is above Quicks in this chat, so that's funny. I mean, haha, I guess. But like, Quicks has a job he has to do. But he's in fourth place. That's cool. The Owl returns from the dead with 611.
Yeah, the number 1, 2, 3 jumped down to 4. The score difference is 30,000, which is like four maybe 5 sessions, which is a large chunk.
Those 3 played so much, and it's true. I mean, I think the whole weekend I remember just seeing it was just Tom, Zach, Woodland over and over again. I mean, it makes sense in my head. It's the 3 players that I saw the most. Man, the Owl has returned. Yep. He's here. Same with the Scouts. Actually, all 3 Scouts are on here. Besides, well, I guess you can't. I don't know if you count Flock Forrester as like the main squad of the Flocks, but he's around. But not here today.
Yeah, we got the main 3.
We got the main 3 guys. The Owl comes out on top from there. 6'11", 283, and he's one of the 2 godlikes on here. So Quicks and the Owl both got a 25 kill streak somewhere in the week. So that's cool.
Yeah. And Quicks is Eagle 49, so he's 2 levels away from his first star. Gamoto flied through his Eagles really fast. He's actually to the point where he's getting close to his star, which is crazy. Plays a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of those like that. Like we said a couple weeks ago, a lot of these Eagles are going to start pushing their way, getting closer to stars. They're going to get a lot more Waukesha stars.
Yeah, just on this list, we have 3 players that are over Eagle 40. So we got Gamoto, Quicks, and Skulltaker, who are all pushing their star. Speed Means just got his Eagle, which is cool. Ashway's second account is getting close to her Eagle.
The Scouts are all like Eagle 30.
Yeah.
Around that range. And they're going to... I know they'll get it eventually. They're pretty close already. That's halfway through the Eagles. Yeah, Stinger coming back. I mean, Stinger's been back, but he's been playing more. He's a pretty inconsistent player, which is interesting. Sometimes he'll do like really bad, but sometimes he'll just smash the whole time, which is cool. Interesting to look at. Maybe we'll get him to play. I already asked him once. He said he worked. So maybe we move the league session a little bit earlier. Maybe he'll come and play as well, show what he really got. Luis is on there, of course. Chief, Mac 20, and Speed Means at the bottom. I'm glad Marcus managed to squeeze his way in there. Yeah, that's our anything interesting stats on there.
Yep. So, like we said, a lot shorter of a cast this week. Hopefully we'll see a lot of you guys turn out for leagues this week as well as just our normal public sessions. I know me and James will be there basically all week. So any questions you have about leagues, feel free to ask. Any questions you want to put into the Discord, please ask. Mm-hmm. Any final thoughts before we sign off for the week, James?
Like always, guys, scroll on down. If you're not in the Discord already, please join the Discord. We answer a lot of questions in there. We talk a lot in there. We play games after the show is over and stuff. We do a lot of things in there. I was like this morning around like 5, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m. Me, Hans, and Marcus were just playing games, just in the chat, just hanging out the whole time. It's cool. What's happening here with this Discord is that we're starting to create a crossroads of all the different laser tag places that want to be a part of it. So a lot of North Carolina guys hang out in there as well. So they've like become a part of the group, which is really cool. Like they're not even like on the same laser tag field as us, and they're still hanging out with us, which I really, really, really appreciate it. Talking about you, Snowboy. Talking about you, Hans. Awesome. Yeah. I got nothing else.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to episode 15 of the Point Gremlins podcast. We'll see you next week. Stream has ended. Recording.
Yep. Possibly one up. One down. Dummy dead.
I'm gonna go behind you.
Okay.
Dummy dead. I'm holding ground right now. I'll be right there.
Maintain positions. One up.
Oh my God.
And pre-fire. What up, what up? Training with dummy, 45. On my way. Here. Watch mine.
Yeah, 1 up, 2 up, 2 up, 2 up.
1 down, 2 down.
Down, down.
3 down, 1 more up. Right side.
30 seconds.
Dead. Two dead on stairs. Friendly on stairs. Friendly dead on stairs. Tom dead, Tom dead.